Yeah.
Good going on this week. Simon, can we start with Alex Neal-Bullen requesting trade? Can you take us through the situation as best you can?
Yeah, look, Alex came to me, 4 weeks ago, to talk about where he was at with his family. It's obviously a very private matter with his situation, but the way he explained it to me and the need to get back to Adelaide for family is something that he expressed, and he's such a wonderful person for our footy club and a much loved person, and given so much to our footy club that we're very open to helping Alex in getting that that request done. He's had such a massive impact on our footy club over a long period of time, and came to our club when we were a pretty average footy team, and has helped build it to a position that's been relatively successful over the last 3 or 4 years. And we want to do best by Alex in this situation. Family is a really important element in life, and we'll go our best about trying to get that deal done for Alex. He's a wonderful person, someone that we treasure, and he said it to us. He said to me and said to the playing group, if he could pick the Melbourne Footy Club up and place it in Adelaide, he'd be playing the red and blue still, and that's the type of person he is. He's just a wonderful person for our culture, and we respect him so highly.
Is he almost irreplaceable the way he is, just obviously on field but off field as well?
Yeah, look, he is. He's a very hard person to replace because of his leadership, his ability, what he does for the team from a role perspective. He drives standards and behaviours to a really high level, and he's incredible in what he's been able to do for us in that space. So it is hard to replace a person like Alex Neal-Bullen. But what I do know is we've got some wonderful people that are coming up underneath in our younger brigade that will step up and move into that leadership space and that cultural space, and hopefully there's another 10 Alex Neal-Bullens coming through in our younger players already.
What does it say about maturity in modern day footy that he tells you about a month ago and he continues to play, and presumably he'll continue to play?
Yeah, absolutely, he'll continue to play. He's such an important person for us, and he wants to enjoy the rest of his time at the Melbourne Footy Club, and we want him to enjoy it. We want him to be able to sing that song again. That's one thing he said. I want to sing the song again in the next couple of weeks. That's the type of person he is. And we'll embrace that. But you're right. Footy has come a long way. There's a maturity in football. This is part of our industry now. Player movement is increasing all the time, and people can have a huge impact, and people move for different reasons, and sometimes there's a want, sometimes there's just an absolute need, and in this situation it's a need for his family, and we respect that.
Going for a statement yesterday, what's your thoughts on the discussions around the
In what regard, Pete?
Well, you just said that there were discussions with senior players and staff about what needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you've won a lot of games over a period of time in 3 years, and then you miss out on finals, I think everyone sits here uncomfortable with where you sit as a footy team. But one thing there is common within footy clubs is the want to get better. And what we have shown over a period of time is we've got some wonderful people at this footy club who are all aligned in something very similar, and it's about building a really strong competitive footy team. And we'll engage all those people like we do every year. But even more importantly, this year we'll engage, whether it's Christian, whether it's Max, whether it's Jack Viney, whether it's staff members. Our senior leaders want as much information as possible to help, get ourselves back to where we want to be. We don't want to be missing finals. We want to be a team that's contending, and we play in an incredibly tight competition where you need to get a lot right, and it's so close that you want to maximise everything you can do, and we've got some work to do there. The evidence is suggesting we've got work to do.
Were you aware of Christian Petracca's frustrations with the club?
I've had open conversations with Christian regularly, and I think people seem to parcel frustrations and tension up as a negative. It's actually a positive. And you'd be surprised if you walk into an environment of a footy club, these conversations happen weekly. If you walked into our leadership meeting every week, Tom, and you came, you'd be surprised with some of the things that we speak about. It's about getting better. And those conversations have been going on many a day at this footy club because there's a want to get better. We'll have those conversations. I'm sure there are frustrations because players want to play finals footy. I want to play finals footy. Our supporters want us to play finals footy, and we're going to leave no stone unturned in trying to find the best pathway forward in doing that.
It is significant about the best player, arguably the best players feeling that way. How can you ease that tension? How can you ease those frustrations that you might be feeling?
Yeah, look, Christian's had an incredibly traumatic experience, and I think we don't need to underestimate that. He's gone through a really tough time emotionally, in his own words, and had to go away from the game and really think about a lot about getting happy and healthy. And with that, he obviously does a lot of reflecting on football as well. So I'm sure he's got some wonderful ideas about how we can get better. And we'll lean into all those suggestions. But the first priority for us is to get Christian really happy, healthy. And, you'll see him running around today, getting him back a part of our footy club and a part of our group. But I know one thing that we're all aligned in, and that is getting better.
Is there any disappointment, Simon, that the frustrations became public?
I think when you're in the position that we're in at the moment, those things come out publicly. But there is frustration and tension even when you're going well, and you need to continue to lean into those. But whatever happens publicly, it doesn't really matter. It's what happens internally, and those discussions have been ongoing internally over a long, long period of time about how we continue to get better and improve. And I think what you might hear on the outside and the turmoil and the frustration, internally, it's very normal.
Simon, how would you describe the culture of the side of the club at the moment?
In terms of define culture for me.
That's what I'm asking you. How would you describe the overall culture and vibe of the club?
Yeah, look, I think if you look over time, as I said, we've been very fortunate as a club to win a lot of games of footy over the last 3 to 4 years. So we are a high-performing culture. Culture is something that's never complete, it's never finished, it's never perfect. You're always working on things. It doesn't mean you're not going to have things that are wrong and behaviours that you have to address and things that you need to get right. That's no different for any footy club. And it's a word that gets thrown around really loosely, but what we have been able to produce here over a long period of time is a high-performing culture, and one that will drive success, and we'll continue to look into that this year and how we can get it better. That's just a part of what you do at footy clubs.
You said that Petracca categorically won't be trading. Can you categorically say that Clayton Oliver will be at the club next year as well?
Clayton Oliver and Christian Petracca will be at the footy club next year. I can guarantee they'll be running around in red and blue jumpers. They're much loved players for our footy club. Clayton's a great story in a lot of ways for our club in terms of the challenge that he's gone through and where he's got to as a person throughout this year. And we're really proud of the work that's been done in that space, the care that the club's shown, where he's got to. And now for Clayton, it's about getting him really healthy from a football perspective and getting him back playing to a really top-end footy. And I've never seen someone that's more determined to do that, and he'll be a part of our footy club for a long time.
Next 2 weeks, Clayton?
Now, Clayton's at the moment, he's had some surgery on his hand to remove a plate from his hand. He's also got a PCL that he's dealing with, and post-game he woke up with some sore ribs and he's got a crack in a few of those ribs. So he'll have we've got to get him physically well again. And he's walking around this morning with a smile on his face and more determined than ever to get his football back to the highest level, and looking forward to putting in a huge off-season to get himself ready for pre-season.
Has he been struggling with that for a while, some of those knocks and sort of things?
Oh, look, he's had some challenge physically this year. He's had obviously had a plate in his hand for a big part of the year that had to be in there for 12 to 14 weeks to heal. So he's in a really good space. That's now been removed. We'll get that right. We'll get him physically ready to go, and he's going to have an enormous pre-season.
Are you much more comfortable with Clayton where he's at personally and professionally than you were this time last year in terms of taking it for us?
Absolutely. Clayton's done an enormous amount of work on himself, and as I said, we're incredibly proud of that. And he's got himself into a really great position in that space, and I've never seen someone more eager to attack his off-season and get himself physically ready for the demands of the game again than what he's talking about right now. So he's in a wonderful position as a person. Now it's the challenge is to get him physically healthy and get him ready to perform as a footballer.
You spoke about frustrations. Can you come out and quantify those conversations? Can you identify parts of the results
Oh, we're not going to go into the details, Pete, of those. We're going to keep them pretty internal. We've got a lot of more conversations to have, once the season finishes. We've still got 2 games to go, and we're going full steam to try and win these 2 games. So we've still got a lot of those discussions to happen post-season with a lot of different people, and we'll get some trends in terms of what we want to fix and how we get better, and our plans to get back, fighting for a top position as quickly as possible.
Scoring's obviously been an issue.
Yeah.
Can you address that first now, or whether you've got here, what's your plan for that?
Yeah, we're going to have a look into all that. I think I've been on the record a fair bit as saying that you need, for success on field, you obviously need a lot going right, but you need to be good in all 3 phases of the game. I've been on the record saying that a lot, and we haven't got that part of our game right enough. We need to punish more on the scoreboard, and we need to still remain a very strong, contest-based team. And we understand that we haven't been good in the phases that we need to be good at to get the success we need. So that'll be a big part of our review.
What's Ben Brown's future club look like?
Yeah, look, Benny will play this week in the VFL. He's obviously been battling that knee, so he'll play this week, and it's good to have him back out there playing some footy for us. So we'll sit down with Benny and have a good conversation with him about what that looks like. All good? Thanks guys.